Hey, what's going on? It's Jack Milocco for Beardbrand. Today, let's compare my beard to the founder of Beardbrand, your boy on the other side of the internet, Eric Bandholz. So far, I've compared my beard to Greg Berzinsky and Costa. If you want to go check out those videos, they're down in the description. Today, we're going to turn the camera on someone who I see almost every single day, the founder of Beardbrand, Eric Bandholz. So, as always, we're going to do 5 different sections for this video. We're going to talk about mustaches, chins, cheeks, jaw/neck, and finally, patches. Okay? Let's kick things off with number 1, the mustache. Now, this is a section that I am obviously going to be a little bit lacking in now. Of course, I say this every single time I'm on camera. My mustache is not very big. I don't have the genetics, I don't have the age, or really much going for me in terms of the mustache. Eric Bandholz, on the other hand, has a mustache that really has become, well, pretty iconic in the beard world. Eric rocks some enormous lip lettuce, and there really is no comparison when it comes to this category. I mean, you just look at this mustache, and this thing is illustrious, man. This is the type of mustache right next to Jeff Von Cristiano's that I would envy. Now, I'll touch on the envy subject a little bit at the end, but really, this is a mustache to behold, okay? He likes to flick it up into a sort of handlebar-esque style, but it really retains a very natural shape, and that's what I've always really liked about Eric's mustache. It really doesn't look like he does much to it, all while being taken care of, and that is something that we should all kind of take a note from, okay? Eric's rocked a lot of variations of this big mustache, but really it all goes back to that one word, big. Eric likes his mustache oversized. It typically isn't in proportion with the rest of his beard, but that really lets it take on a style of its own. It serves as the anchor of his beard. Now, there is one other section to Eric's beard that really gives it that iconic look, but realistically, the first thing I always think of when I think of Eric Bandholz is that mustache. The second area we'll talk about is the chin. Just like Costa and Greg Berzinsky, Eric Bandholz rocks more of a smooth chin underneath all that hair. Very unlike me, on the other hand. I've got this cleft we all know about where all my hair sort of gravitates toward the center. It gets heavy right there, it gets a little thin as it comes out, and gets heaviest again on the sides where it connects to my mustache. Eric, just like with Greg, just like with Carlos, has a more togetherness to the full chin presentation. We start to see something that we're going to notice a little bit more as we move into the cheeks and the jaw area, and that's a little bit of the wave. Hold that thought, because now we're going to move into where we really see those waves, the cheeks, okay? Eric's cheeks, if you really pay close attention to him, are not that high up on his face. He rocks a pretty naturally low cheek line. He does a very good job of not showing this though by drawing your eye right to the center of his face where it's the thickest. That's of course the mustache and the chin. But realistically, I think out of all of us that I've covered so far, Greg, myself, and Carlos, I just think that Eric might have the lowest cheek line out of all of us. Again, you really would never notice that unless you put his beard under a microscope or compared it to, one of us other guys. That being said, it's here in the cheeks that we see one of the most defining factors of Eric's entire beard, and that's those waves. Now, he made an entire video on these beard waves and how you can actually put those more into your beard and get a more emphasized look with this. I'll link that down in the description if you want to check that video out, but I really dig these waves, man. Compared to my beard, I've got very curly hair that sort of knots up on itself, and that gives me the appearance of having a very, very thick beard, but there's something to be said about those waves. They're very unique, you don't see it too often, and a lot of times guys really want to get rid of those. I think it's really unique, and if you do have them naturally, I encourage you to rock those things with all the confidence and pride that you have. As we continue on to section 4, we're really going to follow those waves down into the jaw and neck areas. Now, Eric likes to keep his neck relatively tidy, but just like with me, he lets it get heavy under here and gives the beard most of its weight right underneath the jaw. This is where you get that naturally round shape that you see on a lot of beards, and Eric is no stranger to this. He's in the past grown out his beard to pretty significant lengths, but nowadays rocks a more or less tame version of kind of that longer beard that he used to have. He still, of course, has those waves that feed right down into the underneath and sort of disperse into the fuller part of the underneath of his beard. And if we follow his beard down a little bit further, you'll notice that his beard doesn't grow down as far as mine on his neck. He does get the odd little hairs here and there, kind of like Greg Berzinsky, but realistically versus myself and Costa, Eric Bandholz does not have a super big neck beard. I guess you could count him lucky for that, right? Finally, we'll talk about the fifth section in today's video, and that is our patches. Eric Bandholz doesn't have very prominent patches, but he actually does have them somewhere. You gotta look really close. In the past, he's done a few videos on this. I think Eric has covered almost every single topic you could really ever think about when it comes to a beard. So if you take a closer look at his beard, you can really see those patches, and they're hiding underneath that gigantic mustache. He does a really good job of hiding them. They're really right here, sort of where mine are, just in this little area, and it's really not that uncommon to see a lot of guys have it. Now, if we look right under his bottom lip, there is a little bit of that, general patch that we all see in most guys. But again, I don't know if I'd really even consider that a patch, because the more I look around at guys with beards, the more I notice that almost every single man on this face of the earth has those two patches right there, okay? So looking at Eric's beard overall, it's an interesting case. There's a nice blend of naturalness versus controlled chaos, if you want to call it that. He does take a good amount of time to make sure that his beard looks nice and proper, but at the same time, he adopts that sort of minimalist lifestyle where he doesn't let every single little thing weigh on him. And I appreciate that. And I think that's something that we can all, again, take a note from. So that leads me into a bigger note, and that's that I saw some comments sort of asking about the nature of this miniature series that I'm doing right now, where I'm comparing my beards to others and offering the idea of comparing other people's beards to each other. Because when you really get back to the core of what Beardbrand is as a company, we want to foster confidence through grooming. And one of the things that we always tell you guys is to embrace what you've got. So on one hand, there is something to be said about not comparing your beard to others, but for the sake of a series, I think it is always fun to see what one beardsman looks like versus another. But really, when it comes down to it, do not do this for yourself, guys. All you're gonna do is end up keeping yourself up at night and taking that razor to your beard when you really don't need to, or setting unrealistic expectations for yourself, because at the end of the day, your beard is your beard, and I don't want you guys to ever have to change that or feel the need that your beard isn't the best one it can be, okay? I want you to make sure that you're taking care of your beard and taking care of the man that it's attached to, but overall, you do not need to compare yourself to others. Grow what you got, groom it to the best that it can be, and hey, rock your own style, all right? So let me know down in the comments who you would like to see me compare my beard to next. Maybe we'll do Jeff Boncristiano as a final send-up of all the beardsmen that usually appear in these videos. Hey, maybe we'll take it to the barbers and do one with Mahesh and myself, or we can even dive into the idea of comparing celebrities' beards to one another. Who knows? Let me know what you guys would like to see. As always, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, and everything in there and in between. Until I see you guys again, hey, keep on growing.
Thanks for watching this video. Beardbrand has launched a private community called The Alliance. It's for men who are looking to invest in themselves and who are looking to keep on growing. Click the link over there and come join us, or stick around and watch some more awesome videos.